Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, August 31st. And we got some humid weather out there this morning, but as a cold front comes through, we're going to see conditions improve. Tomorrow, we're going to have an upper level low that's going to be over the eastern Great Lakes, and that could bring a few clouds and some showers and sprinkles around the area. It won't be raining all the time, but tomorrow looks a little bit more pessimistic than I did a couple of days ago. But right now, Friday looks like a nice day with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the 70s, low humidity and dew points. And again, if the headlines for the area be a few early morning showers, maybe a storm over southeast lower Michigan and over into southwest Ontario. But by afternoon, we should see improving conditions across the area as that cold front sweeps through and we see things begin to dry out and temperatures are much more comfortable with a nice breeze. And again, we're looking at that tropical storm that promises to hit Florida into the Carolinas with lots of heavy rain and some wind. And again, we'll look at that in just a moment. You can see our normals for the day. Our normal high is 78, the normal low is 55. And a year ago today, we had a high of 79 and a low of 61, so pretty close to normal. If we look at the conditions around the area yesterday, you can see temperatures mainly in the low 80s, and we did have some precipitation. In fact, some pockets of very heavy rainfall, and we'll show you that on the Doppler radar estimate in a moment. But again, you can see low 80s in some of the areas picking up precipitation across the MAC area. 700s at Blissfield, 1400s at Jasper, nearly a half inch at Newaygo with 2/10 at Lansing. And if we look at the radar estimate again, you can see this area, any place in green you can see is an inch or more. And you can see there were quite a few pockets where that happened, even some yellows or where it would indicate that 2.5, maybe 3 inches of rain fell in some of those areas. You can see southwest lower Michigan, south central lower Michigan hit the hardest with the rain, and then scattered pockets throughout the state. If we look at the conditions around the area right now, you can see it's still warm and muggy out there with temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70. And again, once that front comes through, it'll start to feel much more comfortable here by this afternoon. If we look at the satellite, you can see our developing tropical system that's in the Gulf right now. It's moving now to the north, and it'll make the cut to the northeast into the crotch of Florida and then hug the coastline up into the Carolinas. So very heavy rainfall is expected there. And again, tropical storm conditions will begin to affect Florida here pretty shortly. You can see the track of this storm that is expected to move right up into the area between the Panhandle and the Peninsula, and then reemerge into the Atlantic just to the east of Georgia and hug that coastline all the way up to North Carolina. And again, very heavy rainfall in those areas. And here's the spaghetti tracks of where some of the models think that storm's going to go. And you can see the clusters mainly, again, in that track that the National Hurricane Center has. Still, a couple of them want to take it west all the way into Texas and a couple up towards Louisiana. But the best bet is it'll head into Florida. If we look at the radar for the area around here, you can see that showers across southeast lower Michigan, southwest Ontario. Again, we'll continue to move off to these, but you can see where there are pockets of pretty heavy rainfall here and there. If we look at the forecast map for today, our cold front moving off to the area that'll take the rain with it, and we'll have high pressure move in. But we also have that upper level low that's going to be digging in, and by tomorrow, you can see there will be some pockets of rain around the Great Lakes, and actually I think anywhere through the center part of the state to the east has a chance of a little better chance of some showers and sprinkles with lots of clouds. So tomorrow's not looking like the greatest of days, but overall it shouldn't be too bad. And then by Friday, we expect lots of sunshine to take over, and conditions will begin to warm up as this high pressure moves off to the east late in the weekend. Early next week, we're going to have a surge of warm air, and temperatures will get back up into the mid-80s for Labor Day. And right now, it looks like we've got about a 30 or 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Labor Day as some very warm air begins to move into the area, and then we could make a run towards 90 degrees next week if everything works out right. Otherwise, certainly plenty of 80-degree temperatures for next Tuesday into the middle part of the week before the next system moves in from the west. If we look at precipitation here over the next 7 days, you can see obviously where all the heavy rainfall is going to be up and down the southeastern coast of the Atlantic into the Florida area. Again, tropical storm warnings likely to be hoisted in those areas. And as far as temperature, the extended outlook, you can see plenty of warm air across much of the eastern U.S. with it centered right across the Great Lakes into New England, where we could see much above normal temperatures. And again, wouldn't be shocked if we see a run at 90 degrees in some areas here as we get into later next week. And as far as precipitation, looks like about near to maybe above normal, with below normal off to the east. So we'll be kind of right in the battle zone there of where the moisture will fall, with these systems across the northern areas moving well off to our north as we're dominated by high pressure system. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great Wednesday, and 73s to all.